Hello everyone, my name is Kanzungu Okwera. I'm a co-founder of Light Empowerment Foundation. Light Empowerment Foundation is a charity or NGO that was founded in 2020 by a family in Uganda called the Olama family. Um, so basically it is comprised of family members who are the co-founders. Light Empowerment came into existence from a dream or a vision that our family had, and that was to help the people back home in our village called Orusi, where we come from. Orusi is in Nebi district in Uganda. So we grew up in Orusi and we saw the poverty that was there. And when we grew up, we imagined or we visualized ourselves coming up with some projects that would help the people in our village. And so in 2020, we decided to register the charity called Light Empowerment Foundation so that we could bring our dream into reality. The thematic areas in Light Empowerment Foundation are health, education, empowerment in livelihood, and leadership. So under health, some of the projects we have done are in collaboration with other organizations like Uganda Sickle Cell Foundation, that has been raising awareness about sickle cell in Uganda. So we have partnered with Sickle Cell Uganda Foundation, and we have done sickle cell awareness webinars, which has resulted into the raising of awareness about sickle cell in Uganda. We have also partnered with Hope Rescue Mission in Uganda that looks after or that raises awareness about acid victims. And through our partnership, we've been able to fundraise for acid victims in Uganda, and we've also been able to raise awareness about acid survivors in Uganda. We've also done health camps in partnership with Orusi Development Foundation. We have contributed one way or the other into carrying out a health camp in Orusi Nebi that resulted into thousands of people in the village receiving information about their health, high blood pressure, HIV, and other health interventions. One other thematic area we have is education. I would like to say that education is one of our core thematic areas of focus. Under education, we have identified young people from very poor families in Uganda that have dropped out of school or are unable to pay for their school fees, and we have supported these students to complete their education through provision of school fees, provision of psychosocial support, provision of scholastic materials. Under education, we have also contributed to ideas about education reform in Uganda. In the last consultation process that Uganda Education Commission undertook to consult members of the public, we put together a proposal on different areas of education reform, which we submitted to the Uganda Education Commission. So we like to say that we, at a strategic level, we contribute in terms of ideas and proposals that can make education much better in Uganda. Under empowerment and livelihood, we have built capacity of youth through webinars and livelihood projects where we teach the youth in our spaces how to create businesses or come up with projects that can bring income. For example, we have partnered with people to teach the youth how to bake cakes, make baskets, or make bags which they can sell to bring in income. Then under leadership, we have also done a number of webinars to build capacity of very young NGOs in terms of governance, leadership, um, attracting funding from different sources. So those are some of the projects right now that I can mention that we have been able to do since inception in 2020. In terms of how we fundraise for our projects, we have reached out to individuals in our spaces, and through this reaching out to individuals, many of the people we have approached have contributed individually to the projects. For example, we have individuals who have contributed school fees for some of the students who are in our projects. You may find one individual saying, I'm going to pay school fees for this particular student for 1 year or for one term. So reaching out to individuals has been one of our successful ways of fundraising. However, we know that in terms of sustainability, that may not be very sustainable, so we have also written proposals which we have submitted to donors, international donors, and that is one area we are exploring, and we hope to leverage on. Another way that we have that we aim to raise funds is to come up with businesses that will help us in sustainability. Right now, we are in the process of identifying shops that we can open, and through these shops, we can sell different items, either made by some of the women or youth that we support. We have three major strategies for fundraising. One is to reach out to individuals in our spaces that we contact through marketing of our flyers or social media communication. And so we reach out to individuals who contribute directly. They may identify students that we support and say we will pay for one student, maybe school fees for one term or for 1 year. The other way is through reaching out to donors, big donors or international donors. So we also write proposals which we submit to donors in the hope that we can get a bigger source of funding. The third way, which we are building on at the moment, is to identify income generating activities. So coming up, for example, with charity shops where we can sell products made by some of our beneficiaries and also contributed by some of our donors individually to raise income. So those are the three ways we hope to raise funds for our projects. We have a number of achievements over the last couple of years. The first one I would say is to contribute to quality of education of the youth in Uganda, especially the youth who had dropped out of school, who had no hope to further their education, by providing them with school fees and scholastic materials. Many have been able to go much further in their education. This contributes to quality education, and definitely when somebody is educated, they can have a better future. The second one is through the health awareness that we have raised for sickle cells and acid survivors. We have been able to raise awareness about these issues. We have fundraised and supported directly victims of acid. This has helped them have a better life. I will give an example where in 2020, we were able to donate a phone to one of the acid survivors in Chotera. She did not have a way of communicating with other acid survivors for psychosocial support, but by donating a phone to her, she was able to keep in touch, or she's been able to keep in touch with other survivors, and this has contributed to a better livelihood for her. We have also been able to improve shelter for some of our beneficiaries. In 2022, we built a shelter through fundraising efforts. We built a more sustainable shelter for one of our beneficiaries whose shelter had been destroyed by rain. Right now, the beneficiary or the partner that we had is able to live in a good shelter with her family, and that is a contribution. The other one is in terms of leadership. We have built capacity of several young leaders in areas of leadership, fundraising, basically being able to build the capacity of the organizations to be more sustainable. And like I said, at strategic level, we've also contributed ideas to government of Uganda in terms of the reforms. That's specifically, I'm talking about the Education Commission reforms, ideas that we contributed. We believe that all those initiatives help to make Uganda a much better place. We faced a number of challenges, like any organization. As you start up, the startup is never easy. Accessing funds from individuals is not always easy. People have different priorities, and contributing to charitable causes is not always everyone's cup of tea. So it's always a struggle to reach out to individuals to have them contribute to our causes. At the same time, being able to scale up our projects, for example, the education, we have so many young people from low-income families that have approached us for support, but we are not able to help all of them because our funds are very, very limited. So this could be some of our key challenges. We don't have support from government, and all that we do is from our own initiative. We have used our own funds from our own pockets, which is also not sustainable. So in terms of challenges, I would say those are some of the key challenges that we face. Anybody can become a beneficiary of Light Empowerment Foundation, especially for education. Our approach has been to approach leaders in the communities of the people that we support, and these are vulnerable communities, students from very poor families in rural areas. So we have been able to approach either head teachers or our partners who live in the community, let them know what we do, and through this we've been able to identify beneficiaries. People have come to us and said, there is this student who has dropped out of school. Can Light Empowerment help this person? So that has